Hello everyone, I am Amita from Nourish Talk, a platform for natural and holistic therapies. Happy holidays everyone. Well, I hope everyone is enjoying the holidays, and we are going to be talking about sustainable weight loss. I think this is the topic that all of us can definitely use during the holidays, since all of us are enjoying the family and friends. So joining me is Mikaela Schifferle. Here you are, Michaela. How are you? She's joining me from Australia. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. So I was just introducing our viewers. We've come after a long time, after a few days, I should say that. And
Yeah,
the topic is a sustainable weight loss, right? And maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit, and then we can go into the topic after that.
yeah, absolutely. So I am Michaela Schifferle, the founder of KJ Wellness, where I really work with sustainable weight loss because there is so many diets out there
Yeah.
that can be quite restrictive, and you might lose the weight but you then end up exactly back where you started because there's not that sustainability behind it, and
Hmm.
you want to continue to live your life the way you want to when you get to your goal weight now. So I work one-on-one with clients where I have programs, meal plans, all of that, individualize it to really fit into the individual's lifestyle because we are all so different. And when it comes to weight loss, there's no one size fits all cookie cutter approach. Everyone is so different. So that is my passion. I am a qualified and accredited nutritionist, and absolutely love helping those to get to their goal weight in a really sustainable way and maintain it once they get there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I think all of us struggle with the sustainability part of it. Like most of us will say 6 week, 8 week diet, and then, we lose it. We'll be there for like few weeks and then boom again. So it's always like a roller coaster ride for most of us. So what are the tools? I mean, what are the high level tools that you use for the sustainability part of it, right? The weight loss sustainability, like you said earlier.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it definitely, when it comes to weight loss, there is no magic diet out there that's going to
Yeah.
do it for you, really. At the end of the day, like if you look at the science, it's calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
And you want to be eating less energy than you are burning every single day.
Mhm.
And that is the bottom line to it. And it doesn't matter what diet you look at the end of the day, they all have that sort of foundation. And then they've kind of just sugar coated it with something else.
Mhm.
And once you understand that, and obviously when I say you want to be eating less, you don't want to go too far under because there is that threshold that then if you are eating too far under for you, it can actually lead to detrimental health
Yeah.
effects. It
Mhm.
can lead to irritability. You can have a weakened immune system. It can lead to disordered eating patterns as well. For women in particular, they can get a loss of their menstrual cycle, which then puts them at an increased risk of osteoporosis. So
Oh,
there
wow.
definitely is that fine line, and is why really if you are wanting to lose weight in a sustainable way, you should be seeking professional help. And one of the biggest, obviously, I say this to my clients as well, when it comes to weight loss, we may have heard before that it's 80% of our diet and 20% exercise. And while both of those two factors are really important when it comes to weight loss, it's 100% mindset. And you need to make sure that the mindset that you have towards your weight loss journey is in the
Mhm.
right place. And then obviously there are so many other little factors that can contribute when it comes to food. One that I use regularly is focusing on a healthy, balanced plate. And so,
Mhm.
what that looks like is half of your plate is full of your vegetables, your salads. Then you want a quarter of that plate to be a complex carbohydrate. And I
Mhm.
say complex because that is your whole grains. So, like
Mhm.
your brown rice, your wholemeal pasta,
Yeah.
rather than your refined white carbohydrates. Then you want a quarter of that to be a good source of your protein. So that could be your chicken, your turkey, your eggs. If you are vegetarian, it could be your legumes, your tofu, and
Mhm.
then a thumb size of a healthy fat. So that could be the oil that you have cooked the food in, or
Mhm.
it could be in addition to the plate. So it could be like your avocado, your nuts, your seeds, something like that. I find as well with food when it comes to sustainable weight loss. Snacking is a massive area that I focus on, and that's because we might not even notice how easily little snacks throughout the day can actually add up at the end of the week. And I mean, if you're just grabbing, you know, a random chocolate chip cookie here or having an extra full cream milk coffee there, at the end of the week, if you're doing that every single day, that significantly adds up. So it's doing things like going through your pantry, and as humans, we go for whatever is easiest, whatever is most convenient, and whatever is most appealing to the eye. So if you are feeling a little bit bored, a little bit peckish, and you head to the cupboards and you open them up and there's a packet of delicious chocolate chip cookies sitting there, that's what you're going to go for, right? So instead, if we maybe push that right to the back and instead have a bowl of fruit sitting there, or in the fridge we have some cut up fruit, some cut up veggie sticks, maybe we've pre-portioned out some fruit and nut mixes and have them sitting in our eyesight, when we open up that cupboard, that's what we will grab, and that's a healthier option. Also, it's not as appealing to us, so if we're not really hungry, it kind of allows our mind to take that moment to really think about, are we actually hungry, or are we just bored and just looking for something to do? And if that is the case, maybe we should go and find something else, like go for a walk, read a book, something like that.
You know, it's funny that you say that. All of us, like, I think there's a lot of emotional eating that's going on, right? So I'll eat a piece of chocolate. Oh, it makes me feel good. Or I'll eat a piece of, I don't know, some candy or some strange like that. Not that I do that, but you know what I'm saying. So, all right. So someone is saying, which topic are we discussing? Well, we're discussing sustainable weight loss. Someone just joined and I think they didn't know. So feel free to chime in if you have any things. So maybe I think the main food, like the lunch and the dinner, maybe most of us can handle. The problem comes in the snacking. You know, that is where I think most of us fail. You know, so what are your, let's just talk about a few options. Maybe you can tell all of us, like simple, your go-to high protein snacks, or something simple things that all of us can do that.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you said high protein there as well, because when it comes to snacks, like I said before, we go for whatever's easiest and most convenient, and typically that the packaged chips, biscuits, those foods that are low in protein and high in the carbohydrates. And while that's not bad to have sometimes, and there's room for everything in our diets, and that's another thing that I work really closely with my clients, is you can lose weight and not restrict yourself of any of your favorite foods. But when it comes to snacking, it's really important that you have that protein source, and that's because that's what's going to keep you full for a long time. So things like homemade protein balls are a great option, or protein slices, and nuts and fruit mixes. And also, if you choose to have a piece of fruit, like an apple, banana, something like that, it's always great to balance that out with a small handful of nuts, because that just helps to stabilize your blood sugar levels and not have that dramatic spike and then that dramatic drop and have that crash as well, especially if that's in the afternoon. And those nuts have that protein, which helps to balance that out. You've got like your carrot sticks, your veggie sticks, and pair that with a hummus or some sliced meat of some sort. Boiled eggs are another great option, and you can put that on, you know, some wholemeal bread or some rice crackers, something like that. So finding a good protein source in your snacks is really important.
Okay, so what else would you, I mean, how do we, so the other thing a lot of us have is like the sustainable weight loss, right? We're talking about that sugar cravings, right? A lot of us struggle with sugar cravings. How do we handle sugar cravings? What are the options?
Yeah, and I mean, it's really common, and especially when you are just starting out on a weight loss journey, those sugar cravings can be really strong. And so doing things like ensuring that you are staying on top of your water intake. So, you know, everyone is completely different, but, you know, around 2 to 3 liters a day would be good. That just helps to keep your body aware when it's hungry, when it's not hungry, because when you are really hungry, that's when you'll typically crave the sugars and the high carbohydrates and all of that. Make sure that you really start to tune into your body and listen to the signals that it's giving you. So why are you craving that sugar? Is it because, you know, your body's starting to detox from it? and maybe, you know, you can try and have a piece of fruit or something to balance it out.
Yeah.
Or if you are really having that craving, you know, because it's something that you want, then satisfy that craving, because the worst thing we can do is say, okay, you know, I'm really feeling like a piece of chocolate, but instead I'm going to have an apple. And that apple doesn't satisfy that craving. So then you go and have some of your dates and it still doesn't crave it. So then you have some chips. That still doesn't crave it. You know, and you end up going and eating so much more than if you had have just had the chocolate in the first place.
Yeah.
If we also have really bad night's sleeps or we're really tired, our body craves that instant energy. And so we might get really high sugar cravings from that as well, because the sugar gives our body that instant energy that it's wanting. So being aware that maybe you're craving the sugar because you are tired, and then allowing yourself to actually have a really well-balanced meal is going to help subside those sugar cravings.
Got it. So well-balanced meal is very important, what you said, and that will help. And the drinking water, like you said,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And then is there now the other thing on sustainable weight loss? Do you also recommend like intermittent fasting? Do you think that helps as well?
So, I mean, like I said earlier, everyone is so different, and there's never going to be a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach to losing weight. So for somebody, you know, if they have a really busy morning and they don't have the time to eat breakfast first thing, or that makes them feel really lethargic or really sick, then intermittent fasting would be absolutely perfect for them. But if it's somebody who they wake up and they're really hungry first thing in the morning, or they've done a really intense exercise session, then, you know, and they're kind of pushing themselves and they're starting to get a little bit irritable, a little bit hangry, as I like to call it. You're hungry, which is making you a little bit angry. And maybe intermittent fasting is not for them. So it's really, I guess, trialing and erroring until you find out if it works for you or not.
Got it. And what else would you recommend for sustainability? Like you said, 80% is diet and the rest is exercise, of course. So mainly it's the diet part that all of us have to be more careful and make sure that we maintain that diet. Do you recommend any cheat days in a week, or no? Like you have to have.
So when it says 80% diet, 20% exercise. So we can all lose weight without having to exercise. There are amazing health benefits that do come from exercise. And obviously it's going to help your weight loss results happen faster and more efficiently. But when it comes to the 80% food, I then break that down again into 80-20. So 80% of the time, you really want to be focusing on those whole foods, those foods that are going to really nourish your body, make your body feel good from the inside out. So like your fruits, your vegetables, your nuts, your seeds, your grains. Then 20% of the time, that is your foods that you get to indulge in and the foods that you absolutely love. So I find that, and with a lot of diets out there, they're really restrictive. And, you know, it's no sugar or cut out a whole food group. And I find that that is just not sustainable for a lot of people. Whereas you need to find a balance. So if Wednesday you feel like a piece of chocolate or a cookie, you can have it. It's not just a weekend thing or a one-day thing, because when you restrict yourself so much, you end up having a blowout on one particular day, and it ends up being a really vicious cycle of you restrict like Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, it's like all of a sudden, you know, you can eat anything and everything, and then you restrict again the following Monday. So we kind of need to break that cycle and just create a healthy balance every single day.
Got it. Now I think this helps a lot, and you give a lot of ideas on snacking, like that are protein rich, and why it's so important to have a protein rich snacks, right? And having water and fruits and vegetables most of the time. Anything else you'd like to add before we?
I think as well, you know, keeping a food diary is really, really good if you are just starting off, because that also helps with the snacking and being aware of maybe where snacks are starting to creep in. And like I said, you know, you might be picking a little bit here and a little bit there and thinking that it's not having too much harm, but that can all add up. And if you're not seeing the results that you're wanting to see, keeping a food diary and writing down every single thing that you put in your mouth, even if it's one biscuit here and a few almonds there, or, you know, a spoonful of ice cream, if you write that all down, it actually allows you to see where maybe you could make some improvements, add something in, maybe look at a few different tweaks that you can start to make. So that's not something that you have to do forever, but that's definitely something that can give you a bit more of an insight into what you're eating. I guess the other thing is, like I said, the importance of mindset and how that can have an impact, and why you need to, like I said at the start, you need to eat now the same way you're going to eat when you get to your goal weight. Because if you make any drastic changes now, then, like I said, cut out those major food groups and all of that. Once you get to your goal weight, you start to add them back in. You haven't created that mindset or that sustainability for yourself. So you'll end up exactly back where you started. So you really need to start with the mindset, make sure that you are having really positive self-talk so that you believe in yourself. You are creating really healthy habits, and that could be things like going for a morning walk, practicing gratitude, clearing out any negativities on your social media or something like that, so that you are able to really, once you get to that goal weight, ensure that it is going to last forever. Because when you start a weight loss journey, you really need to think about, this is forever. This isn't an 8-week bikini body challenge that I'm doing. This is something that's going to last for the rest of my life.
No, I think that makes sense, and that's the lifestyle, right? That the healthy lifestyle that we all keep talking about. The other thing, before I wrap up, I want to ask you another question: is there like a set time? For example, we talk about sustainability. Is it related to like every day we have a schedule? Like, okay, 9 o'clock I'm going to have breakfast. Noon I'm going to have lunch. So do we try to maintain this certain schedule on a daily basis when we're eating our meals, different meals?
It really depends on the individual. If you're somebody who likes routine and you like things scheduled, then perfect. Then that would help you sustain your goal weight.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who's more like go with the flow, really likes to just intuitively listen to your body. And one thing that I really work with my clients is trying to teach them to listen to your body, because the body is so much more amazing than what we give it credit for. And it will tell us when we are hungry, when we are full, what we are craving, why we are craving it. And if we are able to actually tap into that, then that is going to help us lose weight so much more effectively, efficiently, and keep it off long term. So there's no real set times that is going to work for absolutely everybody. But if you can find set times that work for you, then that's absolutely perfect.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So I think, thank you so much, Michaela, for being with us. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. And
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I know, everyone's relaxing right now. I think this is a very appropriate topic that we need for the new year. And this has been such a strange year for all of us. And so we're happy that this year is over and we can start the new year with a simple, sustainable, like you're saying, a mindset and a sustainable health and sustainable diet principles, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's no better time to start your journey than now. And we can't keep putting it off. We just got to start our journey and become the healthiest version of ourselves that we can.
Yes. With that, we'd like to wrap up this session. Thank you so much, Michaela, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.